The reality is they're going to say anything about me they want to. That's what they do. They make stuff up. I co-authored Colorado Right to Work. They threw a lot of stuff at me. But let me address this one point, since it's been broken here today. There's been a lot of things said about Ryan Frazier, most recently from certain camp. It was alleged that my voting record is terrible. Petty politicians playing games. Let me restore the facts. Ryan Frazier has attended over 85% of his council meetings. 1. 2, let me also share with you this fact. I'm not rich. I'm not a full-time politician. I have to provide for my family. That means from time to time, work takes you away. And I tell you what, folks, if it comes down to providing for my family and missing a meeting, an average of 4 a year, over 4 years, I'm going to provide for my family. I can always serve my community. Thank you.
I don't know what they would say about me, but other than 40 years of working, paying my taxes, never been laid off from a job. I love my family, I love my Lord, and I love my liberty. If there's anything else out there, maybe somebody else can dig it up, but that's just who I am. And I don't think I've got any skeletons in my closet.
All right, my question for the other three guys comes from my focus on the finances of the United States. I'm trying to put some money in my 401k. I want it to be worth something. So, question, if in 2011 you take office, what can be done to pay for Medicare, Social Security, and the ongoing wars and pending war with Iran, it sounds like, without deficit spending?
1 minute. let me just try to tackle that as best I can. You know, Social Security, we have over $56 trillion in unfunded obligations. A large part of that is Social Security. We're going to have a very serious conversation about reforming Social Security for future generations. It's a conversation that we as a country have to have. The rate of growth in Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare alone is getting to a point where we're not going to be able to afford anything else. Now, I don't know about you, but I think we owe our children better than that. And so what I suggest that we do is we look at reforms that will allow future generations, those folks who are 45 years and under, different retirement security options. That's a way forward, and we need to make those tough decisions. We're also going to have to talk about ideas that have come across my path along the campaign trail, like means testing. I've talked to a number of folks who are fairly well off, and they said to me quite blankly, Ryan, I don't need Social Security. Well, that's a conversation I want to have with you all as we look at ways in which we can reform something that's very important to a great many Americans. Thank you.
What was the question again there?
Medicare, Social Security, war without deficit spending.
Interesting. I love these debates. 1 minute to solve problems that they have been kicking this can down the road for years and years and years, and nobody has had the guts to stand up and say, we're broke. We're broke. Look at Greece over there. They have gone over and they've had all these entitlement and programs and social programs and retire at 55. We've got to address these issues. And there's no way to give you an answer here tonight. But you've got to look for somebody who will be serious about not kicking the can down the road, who will really address these things. And there's that little stopwatch again.
Getting our arms around the spending problem is obviously huge. Let's talk about just 3 broad categories. One is earmarks. It's a rounding error in the budget, but I will support and defend the pledge for no earmarks because I think it's corrosive to the process. 2 is our discretionary spending. I would support a 5% across the board reduction. The only exception I'd make to that is for Veterans Affairs because I want to take care of our kids coming back from overseas. And by the way, that includes our defense budget. You know, we have a defense budget that, I'm in the military and I understand this, we have a defense budget that is as big as the 16 next largest budgets combined, and all those countries are either neutral or friendly to us. We can certainly do a lot better than we are, and I've seen it through my career, ways that we can improve that procurement process. And then finally, the elephant in the room is, of course, entitlements, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. That takes all our revenue. Everything else we borrow for. We need market-based solutions in healthcare. We've talked about some of those tonight, and we certainly need to look at the big actuarial problem that is Social Security. It's just a matter of people standing up and having the courage to say what everybody already knows.
My question. I don't have a question for anyone, but the question really goes back to you, the audience. And the question is, what are you looking for in a candidate? I'm not going to stand up, but what are you looking for? That's the one question that I have not gotten an answer to. And I would love to visit with you after this meeting. We've got some literature back on our table, but that's the question I'm going to be asking to you.
All right, now we'll let these guys do a closing speech. We will start with Michael Sheelan, then go to Deming, then Lake Sias, and then Brian Fraser.
Oh, I should have probably just continued where I was. I want to thank all of you for coming out on a Monday evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing, I don't know how many delegates do we really even have in this room. Thank you so much. You know, when we got into this race, I was looking for somebody to support. And unfortunately, whenever you start something, you don't ever quit until the job is done. And I had the greatest pleasure that I've had over the last, it seems like a year now, is meeting so many fine people. You know, when I came across this thing and started it off, everybody, I put on a good show. I'm not putting on a good show. I'm deadly serious, folks. We've got to send somebody back to Washington who has some grit, who will spit in the eye of Nancy Pelosi and say, enough is enough. And I'm looking forward to working with other people back there on a new coalition, because I'm going to be a rookie back there. I'm not looking for a big fancy office, and if I get to an office with men's name on the door, that'll suit me just fine. But there are some good people back there, and I'm going to be looking to them for guidance and how we can work together. But I will never betray my trust to you. My word is the only thing that I've got. My qualifications are, I'm not a politician, and I'm not a lawyer.